We welcome everybody here live for the iSCAR JPG Graphics Truck Series Auto Club 100 at the Auto Club Speedway here in Fontana, California, United States of America. My name is Ezeckiel Reyes.
I'm Benjamin White. Welcome to the third round of the playoffs here in iSCAR. We've got 7 drivers left in contention to battle it out for each of the championships. There's Truck Series, Cup Series, and the Grand National Series championships all up for grabs. And we're getting into the closing time of the season, and that's when these playoff drivers really need to step up.
Yeah, if it's a time to perform, the last 3 races is your time, and we're going to pull up points on who's these 7, who the 7 are. Get into this Final 4 window, and here you go. Ryan Kendrick, obviously a pull and a win, brings him up to 3,004 points. Charlie Byer with a win last week, brings him up to 3,003. Everybody else is reset to 3,000 flat. So yeah, just three more races, and we're gonna set the field for the finale at Homestead.
Yeah, I feel like Ryan Kendrick and Nick Miller seem, just based off of their performance all throughout the season, seem to be locks for the Final 4, but anything can happen. We've got a huge field tonight. I think 41 drivers are currently registered, so this is an opportunity to gain a lot of points or an opportunity to lose a lot of points.
Right, that's a very, very true statement. Of course, with the amount of people that are here for tonight, lots of points up for grabs. I'm just repeating what you just said. Yeah, your second statement is saying lots of points you could lose. If you do wreck, it's going to be a long way for you to crawl up back into that top 4. Coming for Homestead. So it should be interesting to see on how these chasers will set the bar for each other here after 50 laps tonight.
Yeah, relatively short race in my opinion, but I mean, there's a lot of time in the race to either run well or run bad. We'll just have to see. See, how about some of these guys up in the top 5 in standings in practice? Caden Atkins, a surprise, currently in 2nd right now. Jack DeAndrea in 8th also. Pretty surprising. And Liam Sheen, another driver that's just been continuing to show speed as of late.
Yeah, some new faces right inside this top 10 window. Cool to see them run fairly well in practice, but you know, once it comes down to race time, all bets are off. Hopefully they can perform once we do get the green flag. But right now, yeah, Caden Atkins, we see him right in front of your screen. Doesn't run the series a lot. BM Motorsports heads himself on the pit road in that 222. Seen him run well, I think it was at Charlotte. Looking forward to seeing how he performs out here tonight.
Yeah, and another driver that I just noticed registered, Brandon Wilkinson, who has been pretty fast when he does race in this league. Currently, right now on the track. Hopefully he does well in his return to the series.
Now Wilkinson, he's usually a short top type of guy. That number 156 is. He's across the start finish line. Got to log in a lap. Probably might have logged one there as we're time expires for practice. So, speaking of preparation, we're going to put ourselves to the side and play the national anthem. Rise up, remove your hats as we salute our nation's colors. Hey, welcome here back live for the iSCAR JPG Graphics Truck Series Auto Club 100. About to get set going green, and yeah, qualifying underway. Drivers have to log in 2 laps to prove themselves they're the fastest. See Nick Miller, we're watching him right in front of your screen, working up to the start-finish line. We'll pull up standings here on the left side, as the leaderboard will fluctuate. Time ticks down, so we'll go over how all these chasers are, all these chasers' chances coming into Homestead. Currently watching Nick Miller in that number 9. Miller didn't win the last couple of races, but he did sweep round 1. I'm sure, I think he did win a race, or won a race previous to Chase. That number 9 has a lot of momentum coming in here for
Miller won at Kentucky, which is the race that was not streamed due to Liam Sheen's technical difficulty. It's unfortunate because that race ended up being really good, especially near the end. Sheen logs into 4th spot as drivers starting to turn in some lap time.
Connor Brandon, that number 92, currently sitting on top of the board. Nick Miller, number 9, hot lapper, doing what he does best. The former hot lapper, the 92, proving himself belongs to the top. Here's Dadgar in that number 46. Looks like he's not going to log into time. I'm surprised about that.
Oh, lights up to 7th.
But yeah, some other people. Michael DiMaggio coming in here for tonight. He's coming in here as I guess as a dark horse. Honestly, I didn't expect him to last this long.
Yeah, he's gonna be the sleeper guy to make it to Homestead. I feel like he's got to be more consistent though. Like, he's been running consistently decent, but this is the time where you really need to step up. And let's see if Michael can do that here in these next 2 races.
It should be interesting for that number 3 machine, is you have to pick up a win. Honestly, his last win came all the way at Talladega in the Xfinity Series in season number 1. That race was before I started broadcasting and stuff like that. All races were just pre-recorded. But yeah, as you see, Derek M. Smith scoot himself into 2nd, and another chaser who didn't pick up a win last round, but is obviously fairly consistent. At number 66, Derek M. Smith, who just came from a quote race, running another one.
Yeah, let's not embarrass Derek.
We love Derek.
Yep.
James Youngman screwed himself off of turn number 4 because he's gonna pull himself onto pit road. There's Dadgar, Ryan Kwan, Keaton Jones on the back straightaway. Like, he came out a bit late. Actually, 2x is the lap.
Christopher is gonna turn in a time really soon here. He's going into turn number 3. He's was the quickest in practice for a while, so it won't be surprising if he's able to possibly get the pole here. Let's see what he gets across the line.
That will be
where he's going to end up going. Pole! That's the pole right there.
Wow.
Yes, sir. 42.236. Christopher Weil is going to snag that pole at the last second.
Fairly surprising, honestly. That number 41 didn't even log in 2 laps, just 1 and done, and looks like his first lap's going to be, the first lap he logged cleanly is going to be his fastest lap, so surprising turnout for that number 41 of Christopher Weil, who's going to be starting up top.
Yeah, we've got a full field tonight as all 43 grid spots have been taken up, but one of them by a driver who has been suspended for the whole season. Unfortunately, ended up taking one of our grid spots. That was Corey Hart. He's fine, obviously. After that incident with Nick Miller at Martinsville, we put him on suspension for the rest of the season. Hopefully he doesn't make that kind of mistake again. Obviously, it was out of frustration, but that's definitely not the way you really want to handle those. Yep, we're going to have Christopher Weil up on the pole.
Yeah, it should be fun as we get ourselves set up here for this 50-lapper. We're going to go ahead and go over our grid here at the start of the screen. Christopher Weil, or Wheel, I don't even know what his name is called. That number 41 is going to be starting in first place, alongside him, number 92, Connor Brandon, starting second.
Miller Motorsports teammates are going to start in row number 2, Derek M. Smith, Nick Miller.
Row number 3 is going to be consisted of Jackson Menchu, and a surprising turnout for his qualifying efforts, starting in P5, Liam Sheen in number 34 in P6.
Yep, starting in row number 4 now, we have Jack DeAndrea in the 028, and then next to him is Malachi Drake, is another playoff driver that really needs to step up here in this final round.
Row number 5 going to be consisted of Keaton Jones at number 77. He opted out of the chase, and Colton Lights in that number 35 going to be starting in 10th place. The rest of the orders is going to be shown on your screen. Find your favorite driver, and hopefully he wins it here for tonight. After we go through the grid, we're going to go ahead and pour ourselves through into the race analytics, see where everybody's going to stand. I mean, how this race will most likely pan out as we get ourselves set up for the green flag. But yeah, as you mentioned, a lot of drivers signed up here for tonight. Full field, all 43 pit stalls filled here at Auto Club.
Yeah, I was relatively surprised to see that because I didn't really think that we'd get a full field for a track like Auto Club, but I guess a lot of people have Auto Club, so they decided to race tonight, and that's going to show a full field.
And that just means he's first. Oh my gosh, there's people already making contact on pit road, but
That's not good.
These first few laps are going to be very hectic with 40 drivers on the racetrack. It all comes down to one, and they all have to funnel down to that inside groove. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of contact heading into turn number 1. Get themselves down the long back straightaway. Over race analytics here right in front of your screen. 50 laps going to be ran here for tonight, 100 miles in total. Pit road speed's 55. Fuel window every 17 to 21 laps, so it should be a 2-stop race once we take the green flag.
Let's make some picks here. Who's going to win tonight?
The pace car, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of cautions.
Well, I'm going to make a kind of surprising pick. I feel like Andy McDowell's got a really good shot tonight because he was really good in the official, like when the Auto Club week went around and all the series were Auto Club. Andy won a bunch of races that week, and that's probably going to play into his advantage here in this race.
The green flag is out. We're back in green here at Auto Club as one car does not get a good restart in the background as 42 around 40 head themselves into turn number 1. Looks like leading the field is that number 41, Christopher Will.
Derek Smith to the inside for second is going to make that pass on Connor, and they go through turns number 1 and 2. These guys kind of getting spread out early. That might be a good thing though, as we don't really want cars on top of each other because knowing how tight some of these tracks can be, they cause a wreck. There's Menchu in the 99. Got a number change from 53 to 99 today. He just decided that he didn't want to drive the 53 anymore, and he saw the 99 was open, and he wanted to drive it. So now he's looking under Nick Miller for the 4th spot. Can't take it that time, but really good early run for Jackson right now.
Yeah, good qualifying efforts for that 99 as a 34. Sheen's going to peek to the inside. Jackson shoved himself into the corner just to be ahead of that 34 into the corner. Good job by that 99 being defensive here. First couple of laps now, Menchu was down one lane. I don't know if he's trying to break the draft or something like that, but up front, 4-1, and Christopher Weil leading him into turn 3 and 4, and Derek M. Smith slowly losing him.
Yeah, Chris, I really feel like has a very good shot to win today, and he hasn't really won in a long time. I think it's been a couple months since he last won. I remember he won trucks at Bristol in a crazy turn of events. I believe that was his last win, and I think he'd like to get another one now. And he's off to a good start for that.
Get ourselves toward the back of the field. Of course, these drivers running 2 by 2, trying to get as much track position as they can toward the back of the field. The number 50, Derek Newsom's back here. They're still looking around 3-4 wide in the background as number 80, James Youngman, is sort of stuck in the middle of all this. Andy McDowell, we were just talking about him in that number 20. Won a lot of C-Fixed official races. He's already scooted himself in to that top 20. 20's trying to look around. A PPM car, that's Caden Atkins in the 222. And looks like the 75 of Marshall Ryder.
Yep, Marshall Ryder also another driver that's coming back to the series a little bit now, as he was running some races early in the season and then got inactive, and now has started to run iSCAR again. Good to see him back. Currently running mid-pack at this point in the race, but still a long way to go, and he can possibly make up more spots as this race goes on.
Battle here for 12th place. Looks like the 0-2 and 35. Colton Lies, Josh Patterson. They're going to go at it. Obviously, Patterson's been fairly fast these past few weeks. As you see, the 7 of Charlie Byer, he's going to sneak up to the backside of it. Might be a 3-car battle here, but that 0-2 of Patterson, he's been strong these past couple of weeks. I'm waiting for him to actually pick up a win this season during this, maybe around the finale, finale time.
Yeah, it's been a long time since Josh Patterson's won a race in the series. I thought maybe Chicagoland and Cup would have been his best shot, but unfortunately some events in that race kept him from doing that. But he's been definitely showing his speed the last couple of weeks. I think the last win he's gotten is way last season in Indianapolis, I want to say, was his last win.
Right.
It's been a long time. But Jack DeAndrea holding his ground up here.
Yeah.
Currently running in 8th.
You see that 028 being chased down by number 90 of Malachi Drake, and starting to stack up 2 by 2 as Jackson Minshew is blinking in and out. Look, finally, the 99 finds itself back onto the racetrack in front of that 77 of Keaton Jones. It's actually on a new team here for tonight. That number 77, Keaton Jones, is now on proximity. Scoots himself down the backstretch.
Yeah, I want to also mention that Cody Webster is also now a part of proximity. Some pretty interesting hiring choices there. Obviously, both of them are very good at drivers, but I did not see Cody going to prox at all. That is a very big surprise. Derek Smith kind of falling backwards this part of the run. He was running 2nd, it's now back to 4th. Under pressure from Liam Sheen. See, Connor Brandon is now getting a little bit closer to that back end of the 41. May have a battle for the lead coming here soon.
Yeah, that big lead that 41 had during those beginning portions of the race is now slowly starting to dwindle. I think that 41 of Christopher, he pushed those tires a bit too much. Of course, the V7 tires now relying on how the people drive on the racetrack, and push a bit too hard. It'll definitely play out in the long run. And you see there, the gap is now under 0.1 as the 41 attempts to pull right up off the corner. And, of course, the draft, I wouldn't say it's too big of a really big hole that number 92 of Connor is sucking up on, but enough to keep him intact. They head in 1 and 2.
Yeah, Chris seems to get really good runs to the corners, but Connor's really been getting to him on exit, and that's really what has allowed him to catch up to Christopher. We'll have to see in the next couple laps with the tire wear continuing to wear those tires down if Connor can get around Chris, maybe before a caution, which it doesn't really seem like we're really in danger of having one right now, as these guys are really minding their business back here. Even in the mid-pack where cars are just right on top of each other, these guys are really giving each other plenty of room and racing each other fairly clean. See a big snake train down the front stretch.
Right, this is from 20th on back. All these drivers trying to get into a good rhythm and into a pace. As you see there, James Youngman, I think that's a 79. William Schmidt is also in that mix as well, the 52, Michael Kenner. He scoots up, got contact!
Turn.
Who was that?
Oh, man, Caden Atkins. There he goes, he saved it!
What?
Oh my gosh, I have no idea what the heck just happened. Another car's way down there. Oh, he hit the wall. Was that Andy?
I don't know. Looks like, yeah, the 222. Oh, looks like Andy got tight, and he got into him. And the 222 with the craziest save I've ever seen here at Auto Club. And the 20 of Andy McDowell, one of the contenders coming here for tonight, looks like his day is most likely going to be done for.
Look at all that damage. That's not good at all.
No, it ain't.
Christian Livedall's also got damage. I'm not sure how Tristan got that damage.
Got another car around.
Oh, yeah, that car went
into the inside. Patterson.
Patterson, oh, man. These guys dropping like flies now in the last couple laps.
Yeah, it looks like the long run is playing to all these drivers. We're going to see what happened to that number 02, Josh Patterson.
Oh, he got the apron right there. But it seemed like he had a problem before. Look how slow he is compared to all these other guys going by him on the outside.
That was the 95 of Jackson Hartman who got into him, and man, another great save.
Yeah, these guys really making some good saves out here. but unfortunately, that's going to put Josh Patterson in the back with guys like Garrett Hess, who has been having a little bit of internet issues today. He's fallen out of the server in qualifying. Hopefully, he doesn't fall out of the server again, but obviously, having a little bit of issues with his internet. As you see, Weil back to fourth. Look at these guys up front. Connor Brandon took the lead. Nick Miller and Derek Smith follow suit into second and third.
Right, so much commotion. So much commotion going on in the back. We forgot to pay attention up front, and we got a new leader. That number 92, Connor, is leading a train of 3. Worked themselves right up off the corner. I guess everybody inside the top 10 is within 2.5 seconds of each other. You have to see pit stops here soon. It should be around lap 17 when these drivers should hit pit road. You could start it all the way to 21, but as soon as lap 17 comes around, I expect every single driver hit pit road and I guess semi-short pit it, just a slight. Just to split the run, just to split this 50 lapper into 3 sections.
Peter Kenny out of the race. Apparently had a PC issue once again. So completely unfortunate. He's had several of those last couple of weeks and is going to get bit by that again. Miller under attack now from Liam Sheen for the 3rd spot.
Sheen's been having a great run right now.
Yes, sir.
Himself inside the top 5 and started himself in 6th. Of course, 13 laps on his run has yet to hit pit road. One car in the background has hit the wall.
Oh man, he was running 6.2. Good run for him early. Might go south now as he's got some right side damage. How about Jack DeAndrea in the 028 is actually holding his ground up here. Currently, right now, in the top 10.
Yeah, that's a big hit for that number 99 and Jack DeAndrea in the 028 now running 7th place. Minshew is falling out of the top 10. He's currently sitting in 10th place, but hitting that right front is very, very severe, especially at a track which relies on a lot of momentum. As you see here, we got a battle heating up for the lead. Derek M. Smith is scooting to the backside of that number 92. I'm expecting Derek to maybe pass him here next upcoming laps.
Yeah, these two were the same guys that were battling for the win in the Cup Series race here. Unfortunately, they all lost out to Nick and Delicato, but these guys really do know how to run this track. As you see, Liam Sheen still running 3rd. He's just been having a great last couple of weeks. Felt like if he would have won Mid-Ohio, then we wouldn't really have to talk about him being a dark horse as much, but he is now establishing himself as a legit contender for wins.
Right, Sheen had a great run in the Super Late Model Series at Langley. Nearly won it there until a late race mishap.
Yep, we're not going to talk about that, but you can go back to that stream to find out what happened. Kind of unfortunate turn of events there. He was definitely going to win if that caution didn't come out, though.
Had themselves into turn number 1 and 2. Connor is keeping himself out just ahead by, looks like a couple of car lengths over that number 66 of Derek M. Smith. Smith getting a flatter arc right up off the corner. Connor using more racetrack than that number 66. It's allowing Connor to keep himself up ahead. As you see here, we're battling here for 3rd place as Sheen's throwing the block in the 9.
Yeah, Sheen he's just trying to keep a top 3 spot here, but we're closing in on pit stops. As you see, cars are actually making them now. Aaron Mulrooney has taken his truck to the pits. As you see, he's already getting service, and he's out of his stall, and he's going to go to the end of pit road and get back on the track. Brandon Sampson also following suit in the 96, and there's Marshall Ryder in the 75. Also, and as we got more cars starting to hit pit road, this is the pit window that we were talking about a couple laps ago. These guys now starting to hit that window and make their pit stops.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the people who first hit pit road are going to get a big jump of all these drivers on old tires unless all these people on older tires want to pit coming in now. At the signal coming in this time by, it looks like Derek scoots himself to the high side. Both these drivers? Nope, looks like Derek's going to hit pit road.
If Derek trying to make an undercut, maybe after this cycle is done, he can maybe take the lead by doing this undercut move. We'll just have to see how many laps afterwards will these other leaders pit. You see Kiloa Hankins, Jack DeAndrea also are in for service. And there's other cars staying out. There's Fenton on the track. There's 85 of Scott Yost also. And Ryan Kendrick, who's kind of been mired back in traffic these first 18 laps. I would expect him to be running a little bit better as he came in 20th position. So hopefully these pit stops maybe launch him up a couple positions in the standings, but it's kind of surprising to see him that far back.
Currently, 16 cars have yet to hit pit road as they work themselves. Right here, looks like the 9, the 92, the 34, they're all going to hit pit road this time by. Yeah, looks like a train of 4 all hit pit road. Looks like Jackson Benshew also follows in pursuit. 79, William Schmidt.
Basically, the rest of them are coming in now. Mitch Hobbs has gained a lot of spots since the start of this race.
This is honestly the busiest pit road I have ever seen here in iSCAR based off of how many cars are hitting pit road right now. As you see multiple people overshoot pit road. That was Damian Fenton, the 71. I don't know who that is. Corbin Collins. The 89 and Mitch Hobbs overshot it just a slight. The top 3 currently staying themselves out on the racetrack. Brendan Wilkinson in the 156 catching a bit of a clean air, but unfortunately he's probably going to have to hit pit road here soon. Colton Lights in the 35. He's out on the racetrack as well. And the 02 is Josh Patterson. Nearly spun it earlier off of turn number 2. He's still out on the racetrack as well. They scoot themselves. Looks like Wilkinson's coming onto pit road as well as the number 35 of Colton Lights.
Yeah, all these guys are nearing the end of their field winners. You see Patterson's going to get a little loose on entry there. And very unfortunate turn of events for him as you see Christopher Weil is already coming for service. There he is in front up there. He hasn't?
He's going to be the lead. He's going to be the leader as he had themselves off of turn number 4, and that's the benefit of short pitting. The number 41 came down 2 laps ago, and he undercut that number 66 of Derek M. Smith, and he now puts himself back up front. That's a great pit stop for that number 41.
Yep, good move by Christopher there. And Derek Smith's second. Where's Connor Brandon? Looks like he's in 3rd place right now. Behind these guys. Pitting a little bit later than those guys really didn't seem to help him here, but he's got fresher tires in the guys in front of him, so maybe he can use that to his advantage, maybe catch up to these guys. Surprised we haven't gotten a single caution yet. Hopefully I don't jinx it, but great to see that we got a green flag pit stop in. With a field as big as this is, I would have expected maybe a couple cautions early, but obviously not the case.
Yeah, I'm fairly surprised about that, and speaking of surprises and stuff, I'm surprised about the 41 Christopher, who came down 4 laps ago. Derek came down 3 laps ago, and Connor came down 2. So this top 3 is all on sort of a different strategy as of right now, but for Chris, it's working out here for this short run, but for the next pit stop, I'm not sure it's going to play to his advantage because he's going to have to stretch the run just a slight. I don't know if he wants to run the tank all the way out this run or something else. But as of right now, he's losing time to that 66 of Derek M. Smith, just a slight.
Not a very good early for Michael Namagia, one of our playoff drivers, currently 25th right now, just struggling against the rest of these cars right now. On the hopefully things can turn better for him in the second half of the race. Got a long way to go still.
Yeah, that number 3, Michael Namagia, of course, one of the chasers here for tonight, the last 7, as they head themselves into this Auto Club 50-lap event, and Namagia rallied back all the way in 25th. I don't know who else. I think he's the last chaser as of right now, so Namagia not having a good run currently.
Darius Rezadadgar currently 19th after starting way deep in the field. Been on the march. Started 37th, as you can see there. He's currently gained 18 spots, so very good early run for Darius. If only he'd qualified that truck.
I'd expect that number 46 to qualify. He was one of the fastest people in that one small practice session. As you see a bit of side-by-side racing up front. That's Grayson Trexler and Ryan Kwan, one of the 408 racing cars, and TCS also making a return out here tonight. Trexco Simsport, as it's the 54 sporting that scheme as down the back straightaway. A huge block right there as the 222 is shutting out the 156.
Yeah, I think the 222 of Caden Atkins is really not happy about that early incident there with Andy McDowell, and is just trying to keep his position that he still has, but Wilkinson, with a little bit fresher tires than he has, is going to go to the inside and probably easily make that pass now.
Wilkinson has a bit of right front damage as well on that machine. I don't know if he tagged the wall earlier, but that 222, Caden is not letting him go. It might have gotten tied off the corner. It looks like they're not, but those two are dogfighting it. As see right behind, Mitch Hobbs is going to go to the inside of Joe Berge.
Malachi Drake currently 33rd. Probably had an issue with the pit cycle. I don't know if he got a penalty for speeding or what, but he's a playoff driver and now currently 33rd in a very bad situation.
Yeah, there was multiple people who got speeding on that pit stop. I forgot to mention it, but one of them was Malachi Drake in that number 90, a 54-second pit stop. Of course, if you speed on a pit road, that's a 30-second hold. James Youngman also got caught for speeding in that pit cycle. The number 99 and Jackson Metro got
wrecked. Marshall Ryder gets turned and the caution's out. Right as we reach halfway, the caution is out for that spin by Marshall Ryder, which I didn't really think was going to be a caution because he saved it. But unfortunately, now we're going to have our first caution of the day. I thought this might go green to the end. Let's see what happened on the replay.
Side by side with the 28 of Ryan Kwan, and it looks like the 75 just came down.
It comes down on the 54 there of Trexler. Fortunately, Ryder goes around, saves it, but unfortunately iRacing says we're going to throw the caution. So now we'll see if these guys hit pit road. I would expect them to hit pit road, but I mean, we're coming fresh off of a pit cycle, so we'll see if anybody stays out on the track and maybe catches some more cautions.
Honestly, I do expect them to hit pit road with now 25 laps remaining. If you do pit from this point forward,
I don't think it's going to be enough still.
It's not going to be enough, but 10 lap hold tires. I expect everybody to maybe scoot themselves on in. And all those people who are one lap down, they could stay themselves out and still make it on one stop. So here we go, pits is open.
Yeah, that was a good break for guys like Malachi Drake, Jackson Menchu, and other guys that are stuck a lap down right now to get that lap back. Be back on the lead lap because of the wave round. It looks like all of these guys up front are going to be pitting, so it's going to be a good break for those drivers that are a lap down. And for Malachi Drake, this is his opportunity to get back what he lost.
Right, that's a huge break for that number 90 as you see him scoot himself. He actually got the lucky dog, so he will actually get the pit without taking wave around. So they scoot themselves onto pit road for the first time under caution, and to find out on who's going to come out first. Wow, Miller with 2.
Miller. That's a surprising call right there, but we've got another pit stop to go, so it may make a little bit of sense to try that in case we get a long run and he can see if those will wear really bad against the 4 tires. Obviously, Miller has been pretty good with strategy this season. He's made several 2-tire calls that have resulted in wins, so we'll just have to see how this is going to work out for Nick. As you see, Derek Smith's going to be second out of the pits, and the rest of these guys rolling on out of the pit lane. You see the cone is repeatedly getting knocked onto the track. Rip cone, but right now we'll see how this tire strategy is going to work out for Nick Miller.
Honestly, this deep into the run, I expect everybody to take on 4 tires, but it looks like Nick Miller on that number 9 decides I'm interested in 2. Honestly, with a tight truck like tonight, I guess it's I wouldn't call it an ambiguous strategy, but
still in the apron. I don't know if he's coming back in or if he's just saving fuel. We'll just have to see.
Probably saving fuel.
I don't know if there's a reason to save fuel, but I guess since he kind of wants to stretch that out probably as much as possible, because we're still going to have to make a pit stop. There's no way they're going to make it more than 21, 22 laps on a tank. So we'll just have to see how this all plays out.
We'll take the green, most likely on 21 or 20. So, that's going to be interesting. Honestly, we're fairly close to that fuel run. I'm not expecting many drivers to slap on the pit with like 3 or 2 to go. I'd expect them to split that final run in half and maybe slap on 2 tires, because you're only halfway through the run. Take a half a tank of fuel and slap on 2 just for a 9-second pit stop, and in and out you go. Should be interesting if this thing does go green from this point forward.
Yeah, I'm looking how that undercut worked for Christopher Weil and Derek Smith on that last pit cycle. I would expect people to be pulling that same move. So we'll just have to see how it all plays out. I feel like this may be a good call for Nick Miller, but we'll just have to see how well he can save the tires that he's did not put on that last pit stop, because obviously 2 tires. You replaced one set, but the rest of the tires on the car are kind of worn out. Obviously, about 10 laps, I believe, was the run they were on there. So we'll just have to see.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, a lot of unknowns on how that 2-tire stop will go for Miller, but we're gonna find out if. Honestly, I think Miller is digging himself in a bit of a hole right now, because if this thing does have a long run, Miller has to slap on 4 tires, honestly, because you can't elect with 2 tires for a green flag pit stop. I'm not sure, but it's going to be interesting on how Miller will pick around during this for these final 20 laps.
Yep, lights are out on the pace car. You saw some cars getting their lap back. Includes Kevin Maffitt and the 52 of Kenner, who are also a couple laps down. You see him going around the track now. James Youngman also is going to get a lap back. And just have to see where they end up finishing. Obviously, looks like speeding penalties set them all back.
Right.
So I think they just want to recover, get a good finish here.
And luckily for them, they're still going to make it with just 1 stop, but they're going to be fairly off pace. The last thing that they need to happen is, they want to happen is for a caution. I guess a caution, but I'm really not sure. But I see, because there's benefits to cautions, and there are also cons to cautions as well, being 1 lap down. But we'll have to see for all those lap cars how it plays for them.
Yep, pace car is going to come in this time. We'll see if Nick Miller's tire call is going to work for him on this run. They get 2x2x2, and Miller will be ready to get allow pedal on. Green flag is back out. Miller does not really get a good restart here, and Derek Smith is right now already on the attack.
Yeah, of course, with everybody bunched up yet again with newer tires, it's going to be a hornet's nest, I think, from 5th on back as they head 2x2 into turns number 1. And it's Nick Miller. Looks like he got a bit tight, and Derek is fighting back on the high side. It looks like he might retake the lead unless Miller flat tracks it off the corner.
Liam Sheen with a good run. Look at Sheen take Connor 3 wide. Look at these guys really fanning out near mid-pack. 3 wide for 3rd going into turn number 3.
That's some good racing going on, as I think the 41 is going to lose 2 positions there. The man who started up front will now fall back maybe down to 5th or 6th, and is Kiloa Hankins as well in that mix as well, in that number 72. He wants to make a bit of noise, as there's still 3 wide here for that position, as Miller is still holding that number 66 off.
Yeah, if there's one guy that can really save tires in this league, it is Nick Miller. So we'll just have to see, see how that pits strategy is going to work for him. You see Connor's going to get back under, it looks like Liam Sheen for 3rd. On the back straightaway, Sheen continuing to impress all of us.
Get themselves into the corner 2x2. Wheel shifts to the low side to clear out that number 72. Kiloa Hankins also working himself up into the mix at 77. And how about the 2 of Aaron Mulrooney? He comes out of nowhere. He's now in the top 10, excuse me. Now working on to the backside of that number 77. But up front, battle for the lead as a 66 is looking around that number 9.
Yeah, Derek is going to be forced to use the high side, I think, to make this pass. Miller doing a good job of holding that inside line. It's forcing Derek to try and use the high side, but Derek really does not want to be up there right now. As you see, he just backs off and gets behind. Liam Sheen also still continuing to hold off Connor for 3rd down the back straightaway.
1,003. Connor's going to shove himself to clear that 31. Sheen's going to have to do his best to fend off to that high side, but now it's going to open up the door for the 41, Christopher Weil, as I think the 34, man, I think the 41, Christopher, might have clipped the grass there in the front stretch.
Yeah, you obviously don't want to go down there, probably slow you down there and He's going to lose out on the opportunity to pass Liam Sheen fourth. A lot of these guys still staying up in what I'm going to call a lead draft, it seems like, as these cars are basically nose to tail. Look at the blocking going on below the apron. If they weren't teammates, he would have got turned right there. I can tell you that right now. Derek had to lift to not wreck Nick Miller there, and unfortunately, man, another missed opportunity for Derek Smith to take this lead. I think Derek's telling him in VC right now, don't do that again or I'm going to turn you, but I don't know. He'll probably get fired for that if I'm being honest.
Honestly, for that 66, Miller has to block, and it's hard to pass here at Auto Club. With Derek now wearing out his stuff, it's allowing Miller to keep himself out ahead, and now we open up the door for another contender. At number 92, Connor Brandon has scooted himself back into this into the top 3 picture. Now wants to look around this top 2.
Keaton Jones right now under Kilo Hankins for 6th, doing a good job in his first race with Proximity Racing. There had been a ton of rumors about him joining all season, and they end up actually doing it. So those rumors are finally done circulating around. But see, Aaron Mulrooney also, one of the guys that actually departed from Prox as of late. He actually left them. I'm not really sure what the events leading up to that was, but unfortunately for Prox, they lose probably one of their best drivers that they've had. How about William Schmidt also up in the top 10 right now? There's Kevin Maffitt about to get lapped there in the 14. He will give way to these drivers up front.
That's a bad place to catch a lap car. Derek had to go a bit lower right up off the corner, as well as Connor. It's allowing Miller just to pull away just a slight, but looks like the front straightaway, he seems a bit slower with those 2 tires off of exit, allowing the 66 to reel him back in. And here we go yet again. Derek is going to take the corner a bit different, maybe get a run on the back straightaway.
He's going to have it too. Looking to the inside now is Derek Smith. And now he has that position under Nick Miller. We'll have to see who Connor Brandon goes with here in the corner. It looks like Connor will jump to the inside. A little late of a decision there. But both of those guys now are going to pass up Nick Miller. Now Derek Smith is going to go up to the lead of this race. But Connor Brandon gets a really good turns 3 and 4. He's actually going to try to go to the inside of Derek. Cross the line. Derek's going to lead this lap, but Connor Brandon with a huge run through 3 and 4 takes that all across the front straightaway. He's now going to take the lead going into turn number 1.
That was a great move by that number 92 Connor. He took it looked like it took the turn number 3 a bit wider than usual, but he got the run on the front straightaway, and he took the lead from Derek M. Smith. And now Miller is slowly falling back, now getting attacked by that number 34 Sheen. Connor now a lane lower, as he's trying to fend off the 66 of Derek M. Smith. Smith's going to shove it to the high side, maybe have that outside line work, but no, he gets tied up right off the corner. And Connor is still up front. We'll see if Derek can pull a crossover. Oh, man, so close on the front stretch. But Connor still leads it.
Eric driving in it hard. Probably is wearing the crap out of his tires, but we're going to be closing in on a pit stop window here soon. As you said, they were most likely going to probably split this run. But some people may actually try to stretch it as long as they can, maybe catch a caution.
Right.
Sheen to the inside for 3rd place. You know, there's history between these 2 drivers.
Oh,
looks like these guys are both battling up front. It doesn't really look like they're going to really mess with each other right now. But Sheen now to 3rd, Wild to 4th. Miller's 2 tire calls finally backfiring on him. You see Smith goes to the inside for the lead again. They're going to be side by side across the start-finish line. Cannot tell you who the heck led that lap. I believe it was Connor Brandon, but I could not tell you that from looking at it. But Smith now with the preferred line, I would say, going through turn number 1 and 2. But Connor drives in really hard on the high side. Is able to get around Derek, it looks like, but they're still side by side down the back straightaway. How about the blocking for 3rd? Liam Sheen trying to hold off Christopher Wow for this spot. It looks like Sheen is going to have to give way for now, but he's going to drive it in hard on the high side, and we'll see if he can fend off Chris for 3rd.
And 2 by 2
still side by side
for 1st and 3rd as they scoop themselves across the start-finish line. Derek all the way to the apron. Connor right against the safer barrier as they work themselves across, and Derek that time led that lap as he heads himself into 1. I think Derek has a preferred line. He's going to push the car into the corner and take the lead, but Connor might pull a crossover down the back straightaway. We'll have to see on where the 92 will go.
He will go to the inside now, and Smith is not really going to contest that as he go down the back straightaway. I mean, he'll contest it, but he won't block all the way to the apron like Nick Miller did earlier to him. But these guys really racing clean up here for these front spots here. See, Derek does a whole big deal of pinching there, and he's going to be able to drive in hard on the high side, get a good round of 4, and possibly take this lead again.
They are dead even across the start-finish line. Derek M. Smith and Connor Brandon. Oh my goodness. Honestly, if there's one driver if there's two drivers that are probably going to win this race, it's either those top two, as Connor took the corner a bit late, had semi-shoved Derek right up the track. Couldn't take the corner on, couldn't enter the corner correctly, as you got a bit of strategy. Some people are coming on the pit road, and Kendrick is in and out, and Byer overshoots it.
Oh, that might cost him a couple spots, some valuable points possibly being lost here. So these guys are in that pit window now. See, that's Ryan Kendrick.
Derek hits himself on the pit road.
Yep, the undercut. He's going to try and pull that again. Oh, don't speed. Miller coming in hot as well. But obviously he needs to attack to get best pit road entry that he can. After taking those 2 tires, didn't really work out for him.
Oh man, yeah, it's strategy call time, and Miller, I don't know if he's going to take on 4 tires because he took 2 under caution. You see Derek M. Smith, the person who was up front, is going to scoot himself down on the pit road. 4 tires, I think, 2 tires is probably going to be the call for that number 66, because he could fill it just half a tank and in and out hold go. No, he's going to elect on for 4 tires. Very surprised about that call for Derek. I expect that number 66 to take on 2. But I guess not, because there's only 9 laps left. That might have lost him the race, I'm not sure.
It depends on what these other leaders are going to do with their pit strategies here. Connor Brandon is in for service in these final laps now. Other cars in the top 10 also coming to pit road. Looks like Christopher Weil, Keaton Jones, and William Schmidt are going to go around another lap.
Liam Sheen is getting himself on in. Did Miller?
Miller speeding. Miller got caught speeding, definitely.
No way.
Many seconds there. That's a huge mistake. Now, you saw him come in hot, and he got caught speeding, and now that's going to lose him valuable points here in this race.
Right.
If he doesn't catch a caution.
Right.
Wow.
And he's trying to
I had noticed he was sitting in there. Yeah, I had noticed he was just sitting in there, and then it came to mind. Oh, crap, he's speeding. Huge mistake late in this race for the 9 truck.
That's bad. That's going to lose him valuable positions. I'm not expecting... Oh! Who is that?
Sheen saves it there. But that's going to cost him time as well. I'm not sure if Sheen thought he was sure of him or what. That's a very bizarre door slam right there.
All right, now everybody's...
What?
I'm confused about that door slam as Sheen works himself to the... he's now 1 lap down behind the 77 Keaton Jones, but Sheen with I don't know if he's on... Yeah, it looks like Sheen scoots himself to the inside. Trying to find him on the leaderboard. Looks like it was a 4-tire call for Sheen. And we do have some people taking on 2 tires. One of them, Connor in the 92, actually elected for fuel only. Very surprised about that call. And as well as the 41, Christopher Weil. He elected on with fuel only. Kiloa Hankins, he's fuel only. Bit longer stop for him as well. The 65 of Kendrick was one of the first people on in. We saw him coming out once these leaders did hit pit road.
That may gain him a bunch of points, depending on if we get a yellow flag or not. But really good pit strategy call, I think, for Ryan Kendrick here, because early in the race, he really kind of struggled and used the opportunity to get some spots by making that pit call. Keaton Jones is in from the lead, could not stretch it the whole way. With 5 laps to go, he comes in for service.
Man, you know who might stretch it all the way? That number 98, Glenn Bundren, came down on 17 laps ago, and you could stretch it all the way to around 20, and Bundren is on economy mode. He is fuel saving as much as he can. He has, I guess, nearly a half a track lead over that 92 of Connor Brandon, who recently hit pit road. I'm expecting this 98 to win this race, maybe, just for staying out.
He did the same thing at Michigan, but caught a late race caution that unfortunately derailed his chances of that. But he's tried this before, and if he pulls this off, oh boy.
That will be one of the biggest
look at him.
upset wins.
Yeah, look at him cut the track. He's trying to use as little fuel as possible while also saving. Here's Scott Yost out in the lead with 4 laps to go. I don't know if he's on save mode either, but he also hit 21 laps ago. I don't think Scott's going to be able to make it to the end.
No.
I don't think so. I think he's just getting a little bonus point. So, getting a little TV time. Well, we're not really on TV, but whatever. We'll call it TV time. Anyways, Scott probably going to be in the pits soon, but... Oh, that might... Oh, no. Let's not bring out a caution late in the race here. We want to see this thing play out to the end. Scott's going to be in for service. Glenn up front. Can he save the fuel that's necessary to get to the end? He's got almost a half-track lead on Connor here. And that lead isn't really shrinking too much.
Right, that's a solid, that's a 22-second lead over that number 92 of Connor.
Glenn.
Honestly, Glenn is in position to steal a win after being probably in 15th this whole entire race. I am shocked that nobody else decided to take a fuel gamble because they all pitted around lap 17. I'm not sure if everybody was like confused and they could only stretch it all the way to 17, but Glenn is working on his 19th lap out on the racetrack. Thank you for the subscriptions, by the way. And Glenn is in position. Oh boy, can he make it for just 2 more laps?
You know what I think he did here? He might have pit on the 1 to go on that last caution. That could have given him the laps of fuel he needed to get this victory. 2 to go as they have just crossed the line. 16 seconds is the gap. And can Glenn Bundren save enough fuel to get to the end? Obviously, that is the strategy that he's going with. And if it works out for him, that's going to be one of the best fuel-saving jobs I have ever seen here in iSCAR.
My goodness.
Well, let's just see if it plays out to the end for Glenn here. He is still using as little of track as possible, just trying to use as little fuel as possible to make it to the end.
All right, as they work themselves off of turn 4, Glenn Bundren. Where did he come from? 1 more lap to go for that number 98. Can he make it all the way?
He needs to continue to save here as he is on the white flag now. Glenn Bundren did get a win in the Cup Series earlier this season, but it was at Talladega, and it was after a penalty came to our initial winner, Nick Miller. Down the back straightaway for the final time, using as little track as possible, trying to save the fuel that he needs to win this race. Connor Brandon closing in fast with the rest of the guys behind him. Down the back straightaway, these guys start to go. But in turn number 3, Glenn Bundren will be able to save enough fuel, I think.
Well, he makes himself off of turn number 4.
Number 4, Glenn Bundren will save enough fuel to come around to get this win here at Auto Club Speedway. Glenn Bundren takes the win tonight at Auto Club.
Wow!
Unbelievable job of saving fuel.
What in the world?
That is ridiculous.
I am stunned.
I've never seen that.
That is the craziest race.
Unbelievable.
Oh my! I am shocked. That is crazy.
All the chase. Yep, all the chase drivers got a win stolen right out of their hands right there.
Wow.
How about this?
That is nuts. I am speechless.
Wow.
What?
I don't think anybody knows what just happened to them. The leaders that have led the entire race just get it swept from under them by Glenn Bundren. What a job by Glenn to save enough fuel. The strategy mastermind call right there that got him that win. Man,
wow.
I would want Glenn Bundren as my crew chief. Let me tell you that right now. Derek Smith giving him congratulations. Look at these guys. Looks like he is now out of fuel.
Yeah, he's out of fuel now.
Wow.
Oh my god.
What a job. What a race to the end there. Great race. One of the best truck races we've had all season, I'd say. Unbelievable. I cannot say how good of a job Glenn did there at the end to get this win. Look at all the drivers giving him congratulations, helping him to the start-finish line.
Man, this has to be one of the most popular wins in iSCARs. Honestly, that is crazy. And the 98 is going to go ahead and fling it into the grass and do his burnouts. Glenn Bundren wins the Auto Club 100 in the craziest fashion I have ever seen. And he played it right. This is the first time an iSCAR driver has played the fuel strategy right. We've seen it go wrong for Alec Daffin at Las Vegas.
Oh man, let's not talk about that.
More for other drivers, Connor Brandon at Pocono. My goodness. You see them all crowding around the number 90 data. Glenn, wow. That's too good. That is awesome. That is, wow.
Everybody's going crazy about that win, that they all had to do burnouts with them. All right, let's take a look at your results. Glenn Bunger with the amazing pit call will win by 9 seconds over Connor Brandon. Christopher Weil will end up third tonight after sitting on the pole. Great effort for the 41 driver. Derek Smith fourth. I feel like really got robbed out of this win. Ryan Kendrick, after a great pit call, another driver that really mastered it right, is going to get the points that he needs to move on to the final four. Currently going to be in a good position in points. He ends up fifth. Kiloa Hankins, Ryan Kwan, 248 drivers that also get good finishes. Keaton Jones, William Schmidt, Aaron Maroney will round out your top 10.
Rest of the order, I mean, 11th through 20th is going to be right here in front of your screen. Jack DeAndrea, Grayson Trexler, Malachi Dre, Caden Atkins, Eric Newsom, Charlie Byer, Brandon Wilkinson, Marshall Ryder, Michael Bago, and Joe Berge rounding themselves out in 20th.
Andy McDowell, who I thought would have a good chance to win today, ends up 21st after an early incident. Colton Lights in 22nd. Darius Fez Dadgar ends up 23rd tonight. 24th to Damian Fenton. 25th to James Youngman. 26th to Scott Yost after leading late in the race. Jackson Hartman, first car lap down in the 27th spot. Carl Faust in his debut, 28th place for him. Nick Miller ends up 29th after that speeding penalty. Huge points miss for him. And Kevin Maffitt ends up 30th tonight.
31st, Michael Kenner, Josh Patterson, Liam Sheen, Garrett Hess, Mitch Hobbs, Tristan Livedall, Brandon Sampson, Corbin Collins, Jackson Menshew, and Peter Kenny round out 40th, and 42nd, 43rd, Matthew Klein and Corey H. Hartz. We'll be right back right after this. Into the booth goes the number 98, Glenn Bundren. And my goodness, this is going to be a popular one.
coming up to the line, being chased, and it was Braden Johnson. Unbelievable finish. It was 1/1000th of a second between them.
Green flag in the air. We are racing in the 2020 24 Hours of Daytona.
They go door to door for the feature race lead here on the last lap of the race. Side by side for the race lead in the final corner at Homestead.
Down the back straightaway, 3 wide again for the race lead. This is unbelievable stuff here tonight.
Loba is going to have to be very deep on the brakes, and he is very deep on the brakes. It's side by side through the corner. This is for the win.
It'll be side by side. Davies low, Ottinger high. To the very inside is Garrett low. 4 wide at the stripe. For Audie's win here on this outside line. Neck and neck. Who's going to back out? Does anyone back out? Verstappen starts to squeeze on the inside, and now he'll try and straight line it. Goes under the apron. Drag race to the line. It's so close to call.
Welcome here back live for the iSCAR JPG Graphics Truck Series here, the Auto Club 100, and we're gonna go ahead and drag in our top 5 into the booth here in just a moment. And man, what a race from start to finish! And my goodness, the man who came out up top, he only led 4 laps in this whole entire event. He wasn't even a contender there during those final few laps, and we'll go ahead and drag him into the booth. Number 98 of Glenn Bundren. Bundren, what in the world?
Yeah, baby.
Glenn,
Holy.
my goodness, the cars just fell right. You were in the right. I guess right place, right time, and you took the strategy call to stay out there for that whole entire run. And my goodness, man, here you are sitting in victory lane. How does it feel?
This is better than Talladega, kind of, because I don't know, came across the line first in this race, and I did some redemption. We actually got another race stolen from us, from, I think it was Xfinity, Michigan, where I was saving fuel, and
Right.
was able just to be able to, that was redemption, baby. We got redemption, that's all that matters is, don't want to get big-headed, though, but that was one hell of a race, one hell of a call by myself. That was my only shot, because I wasn't even fast. Knocked the wall down like in lap 20. So I knew I was out of the race. And whenever I got that caution on lap like 25, I was like, maybe I can just save a little bit on this restart, come in and get fuel to want to go. And then I started saving whenever we went green, and I ran out at the start finish line. I mean, you can't even write a book perfect about it, man.
Right, man. You just played it just amazingly well during that final half of the race. And Glenn, of course, that Michigan race, you came up short there because that the late race yellow, and luckily for this for tonight, my goodness, it went green and it went your way. How did you conserve your fuel there to make it all the way to the end?
Well, whenever we went green, I had to go a couple of laps just to warm the tires up, just to stay in touch with the draft. Because if it wasn't for the draft, I probably wouldn't have made it through a final lap. But I was clutching in with the draft, saving all I can do, and then with 5 to go, I was running the bottom, just shortcutting it, and we got the dub.
Right, man. Dog, you have any questions for Glenn?
Can you be my crew chief?
Hell yeah!
Let's go. All right, man. You got any sponsors you want to thank though for tonight's win? This is obviously one of the most popular wins I think I've ever
I gotta
seen.
thank myself, iRacing Media. This will really get my media group on the map, hopefully. And yeah, Blaze McKinney, he actually gave me some advice to stay out, because what can I do? I'm not in the playoffs, so I had to do something just to put my name out there. But hell, we did it. We had a hell of a race at the end.
Glenn, I just noticed your last name is spelled wrong. Did your name have a D in it?
Yeah, it has a D in it.
Has a D? Bundren?
Bundren.
Bundren? What?
Yeah, Bundren. I mean, go ahead and thank Ellis Island for that. I mean, seriously. I mean.
Okay, I thought
my
I
God.
thought I was tripping. I thought I was tripping there for a moment, but I
No,
guess not.
You are.
Yeah, I'm tripping, man. I apologies about that. But Glenn, my goodness, man, congratulations.
Thank you.
My
I'd
goodness.
like to thank you guys too for broadcasting. Bring this link up. You too, dog.
Thank you.
All right, that's Glenn Bundren. Start himself 12th. Start himself all the way in 28th on that restart to steal one here tonight. We'll go ahead and see you coming to your next race, man.
Thank you.
I'm high.
I noticed. All right, let's get Connor Brandon in for the interview. Obviously, he has to be very angry about the way he lost this race.
Got it.
Connor, you got a copy?
Yes.
Man, this is another one that seems like it got away from you.
I know.
What were you thinking in the final 5 laps? Did you think that Glenn was going to not be able to save enough fuel, or did you feel like he had you cut?
I thought I had the winning strategy. Like when I was going down pit road, that's when I was just thinking about like what to do, and then that's when I thought I'm gonna take no tires because I knew Derek would take tires, and I thought that was the winning strategy because I came out in front of everyone, but somehow Glenn saved enough. I don't know how he did. I was like 2 whole laps short.
I think we noticed he had pit on the 1 to go on that restart, and that's probably what gave him the laps of fuel that he needed to end up saving enough to get the win. Unfortunately, you come home second, but good result for you, Proximity Racing. You got any other sponsors to thank?
Yeah, Proximity Racing and Merslack for painting the car.
Yep, one of the best paint schemes on the track. All right, good luck the rest of this week. Hopefully you do good in the chase race at Indianapolis tomorrow.
Yep, that's the big one.
All right. That was Connor Brandon, who ends up second tonight after just getting gypped on a fuel strategy.
And we're going to go ahead and drag in the number 41, Christopher Wool. I don't even know what your last name is called, but Christopher.
Yeah, you're definitely high.
Yeah, whatever. But anyway, Christopher, man, you started yourself up front. You ran into the top 5 most of this race, but to come up short because of fuel, talk to me about how that final few laps went.
I mean, honestly, like I'm really happy with how that race went as a whole for iSCAR, because like there weren't many yellows. It was good racing the whole race through, and the fastest guys were all up front, and we were all having fun. But as soon as we got the yellow on lap 25, I knew it was going to be pretty close on fuel strategy, and I was thinking, hey, maybe I can save a little, maybe I can top off, but I figured I don't want to give up the track position and go from like 4th to 36th. So I knew I was kind of locked into staying out there, but I mean, I didn't have the pace to win. I didn't have the long run pace. Glenn did an awesome job with the strategy, making the fuel work. To an extent, I wish I was in a position to make the fuel work because I'd rather take a risk going for first than finishing third. But I also knew that like I was 2 laps short, so there wasn't even a risk to take. It was no way I was going to make it, so I had to pit. But I'm actually really pleased with third because it was a fun race, and that's pretty much the position I deserved.
Right, man. You started up top and finished out in third. ATV is not displaying your final pit stop. But what'd you elect for? No tires, 2 tires, 4 tires?
Yeah, just no tires and literally the smallest splash of fuel possible. I wanted to spend as little time on pit road as possible because we only had like, I don't know, 10-ish laps on our tires at that point.
Right.
And like they'd fallen off, 6-7 tenths, but I knew the time lost to ticking tires wasn't really going to be made up. And Derek Smith, I believe, proved that. Because I think he took 4 and didn't quite catch up. If there were 5 more laps, he probably would have caught myself and Connor, but just didn't have enough time.
All right, man. 10-4. Christopher is going to round himself out in third after starting on top. Before I let you go, man, any sponsors you want to thank you for tonight?
I'm not sure. Corey, before the race, said I was fired from the team. So we'll have to see how that goes.
Not sure what the hell he's thinking there.
I mean, it's a hostile environment, so I don't know.
All right, man. Christopher is going to round himself out third after starting in first. We'll go ahead and see you on to your next iSCAR race.
Hell yeah, see you there.
And booth, and we'll go ahead and drag in our man who probably the most popular driver in iSCAR as of right now, and Derek M. Smith scoots himself on in. Derek, I know you didn't get. I don't know if you got practice during that one.
No, I didn't get any.
Wow.
No, it's only 4 minutes. Got third on the qualifying, but I'll take that.
All right. With very little practice, how'd you adapt to your conditions here tonight?
Well, I thought of it like the cup car. I kind of like enter high, exit low. That's kind of basically what I did, and yeah, it was kind of an emotional race for me with my dog's passing last week. It was quite hard to do this one.
Yeah, man. Obviously running out fourth here for tonight. You got a lot of fans in the live chat. You got any words to say for them?
They're assholes.
Oh. We apologize about the language. But anyway, Derek, we'll go ahead and let you go.
Okay, who cares? Yeah, see you.
Oh, but before I let you go, any sponsors want to thank here for tonight?
I want to thank the people who had the Lily schemes. I think it was only Liam, but thank you to Liam for being a supporter of. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I'm lost for words.
All right, man. 10-4, Derek M. Smith. He's going to round himself out fourth after starting in third. Go ahead and see you coming to your next race, man.
See ya.
Derek M. Smith, and we're going to go ahead and drag in our fifth place at number 65, Ryan Kendrick.
Ryan Kendrick, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, you were kind of struggling early in the race with track position, but of course started 23rd, obviously set you back a little bit, but you made a really good pit call at the end. Probably no tires, I would guess. Ended up fifth tonight.
Yeah, no tires. I was back around like 10th, I think, before I pit, and then I pit like a couple laps before everyone, and then took 2 to try to have a shot at the win.
Yep, great points night for you. I think you exit this race with the points lead, so obviously a great points position going to next week. You feel like if you had another laps, you could maybe gain some more spots, or you feel like fifth is around where you think you would finish?
Probably not, because honestly, I think I was like a 10th place at best truck tonight. So like 10th was, or 5th was like overachieving. So, and if anything, I probably would have lost more positions if there was any more laps, because I passed Co, and then he started catching me again like in the closing lap. So, yeah, I'm glad with how the race turned out. 5th is good.
Man, you got any sponsors or teammates you want to thank for tonight's run?
Yeah, just Webster and Miller Motorsports again, and we've got like new people there too, a couple new people with Aaron and whatnot. So yeah, it's good.
Yep, some strong additions to your team. Good luck in the rest of the races this weekend.
Thank you.
That was Ryan Kendrick, who is going to round himself out in the 5th spot tonight. Obviously overachieving, in his words. He felt like he was 10th place truck. Ended up 5th. Good run for him. He's going to exit with the points lead.
Right, man. A great points night for that 65. And, of course, 2 more rounds, so we're going to see ourselves in Homestead. And the 65 is looking fairly nice. People with a bit of bad nights. Of course, Dylan Basin couldn't even put himself into the session with a bit of problems. As well, Nick Miller is sitting 6th in points right now. Michael DiMaggio is sitting 5th, but there's all 7 chasers had very different nights.
Yep, I want to give out a shout out to Corey Hartz. Apparently everybody wants me to give him a shout out in chat, so we'll give him a shout out here on the stream.
Ogchamp.
Twitch emotes in 2020. Come on now. We're streaming on YouTube, for God's sake.
Weird champ.
All right. Anyways, I'm Benjamin White. Ezeckiel Reyes obviously putting on this broadcast. Thank you guys for watching, and farewell from Auto Club Speedway.
Yep, tune in. Coming in for tomorrow, same time. No, not same time. 8 p.m. Eastern is when we go green for the Cup race. Coming at I don't even know where, but otherwise than that, yeah. All for tuning in here for tonight, and we will see you tomorrow night.